We are back.
It feels good. 12. It feels good to be back.
It is going to be a season unlike any other. I mean, first of all, we went indoors last year in Tacoma. That seated around 23,000. We're at the Dome in America Center. This thing could hold up to 80,000.
Yeah, it used to be the show where there was the greatest show on turf. When we think about the St. Louis Rams, now it's the greatest show on trust. American Ninja Warrior in a modified version for season 12, but it is so good to be back.
Absolutely. Well, this season is really different, and one of the messages we realized that's much bigger than our show is about coming together. And because of that, we wanted to have a team element because we're not going to have audience. We're not going to have all the ninjas on the sidelines. We thought we'd bring teams together with special connections.
Yeah, and that's right. And so that atmosphere was built in, that support was built in. And so the connections we saw, some were religious connections, some was proximity connections. We saw, teams from different groups and areas and gyms too. A lot of these gyms have popped up, ninja gyms have popped up. And so we saw some of our team captains cherry picking from the talent pool that they had inside of their ninja gyms.
A great example is Jerry DeRelio, who's a captain in the JAG Corps. The two teammates she chose, Ninja Verdell Benson, Ninja V.
Yep.
He's a Bronze Star winner, former platoon captain in the Army, now working on the front lines. And Michael Boyer, who's in the National Guard, just completed Ranger School. Now doing intelligence work, but also an EMT. All of them had that bond together of serving our country.
Yeah, and then we think about veterans like Joe Morosky, who's able to bring along two rookies, bring them and introduce them kind of into the world of American Ninja Warrior. And we've seen that. We've seen the veteran success, and now we're starting to see the rookie success.
Well, one of the most certain things on American Ninja Warrior is that there's always going to be changes.
We're always changing.
We got some great new obstacles. One of the great new ones is an obstacle called Ring Chaser. This was designed by the maker ninja, Kevin Carbone, and it starts off, it's incredible. You get up on these monkey bars and the ring starts rolling.
And you got to go, and you got to get in front of the ring to be able to catch the ring.
Catch the ring.
And if you don't catch the ring, then you're left with this small ring to then hook on to a small, to a peg, and that makes it extremely difficult.
And then you have to fly on the peg.
Yes, yeah.
With either the big ring where it's easier or this little ring, which is much tougher.
Yeah, that's tough. Another favorite is Wait For It. Wait For It, I think, was designed by a 10-year-old.
A 10-year-old girl out of Colorado.
A 10-year-old submitted this in, and I'm telling you, it is one of the craziest obstacles we've ever seen. Just think about the
bars, they're weighted, coming down. You got to transfer. It's really hard to describe it. She drew it beautifully, I think, with crayon. But when you see these obstacles, you're going to realize our ninjas are going to be tested in new ways. We have Rib Run, this incredible agility test where there are structures you have to go on that look like ribs.
I think it's the hardest agility test we've ever had on American Ninja Warrior, to be quite honest with you. I mean, the way it is set up, when you see Rib Run, you're going to know why they call it Rib Run.
Well, this is a special season. This entire season, we're here in St. Louis at the Dome at America Center. We're not going to Vegas. We're not building Mount Midoriyama with all four of its stages, but we have something very special at the end.
Yes, it's the Power Tower, and the Power Tower is going to be used in a unique way to be able to get us our champion this year. It used to be where you had to climb up this 70-foot tower. Now we've got this big tower that's 40-foot tall right behind us, and
you go up giant steps.
The last ninja standing.
Poles.
Yes, we'll be in the Power Tower.
Climbing, sliding, lifting.
It's very dynamic. It's a dynamic Power Tower, different from that of Mount Midoriyama.
What I loved about this season is we knew it was different. We wanted to figure out a way that we could challenge these athletes. We've got a 6-obstacle course for qualifying, a 10-obstacle course for finals. We're using the Power Tower at the end of qualifying. Yep. We're using it at the finals for the bracket. We're using it in the women's championship. I love it. This season is special, and we found a special way to challenge our ninjas. Look, we all know the nation is in an unprecedented lockdown right now. And just to get here, we had to move heaven and earth. And always the thought was with safety. How do we do this safely? So from the beginning, it's been different.
Yeah, and kudos to NBC and the production team, A. Smith Production, and really creating this ninja bubble, so to speak. We're situated here in St. Louis at the Dome, and just everything from our hotel safety to our crew safety to our tower, everything is constantly being sanitized. The social distance, everything.
We were getting tested 2 weeks before we came. They really had us locking down at home. As soon as we traveled and got here, we got tested again. We're getting tested every 3 days. We're really being cautious. People, anyone coming into contact with us, we're minimizing the number of interactions. We're minimizing the number of ninjas who are even in the building at once. And that's, again, why we chose these teams to really try to keep about 3 ninjas near the course at any given time.
And then there are bubbles,
different.
bubbles within bubbles.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our own bubble, people who are allowed to come in within our bubble, and then there are different bubbles for the production. The 350,000 square feet we're actually utilizing, and so everything is kind of spread out so everyone can work, don't have to work on top of each other, but everybody can work and do what they need for the show to continue.